Hello friends, this is me, your host. Welcome back to our channel. I hope you all are well and having a great day. So today I am back with another video to give a review on a book which is Our World, Our Home. We have started our first chapter in the last video. So today I am going to continue it from the second one. And in this book we will be going to learn that how we can build a peaceful and beautiful future. This book is by Dr. Muhammad Naveed Akbar. And if you wanted to buy this book, you can visit our Amazon page and buy it from there. So let's start our next chapter without wasting our time. The power of communities driving change from the ground up. Throughout history, communities have been the foundation of social change. From local activism to neighborhood initiatives, people united behind a common cause have changed societies and redefined what is possible. Although global issues may seem too big to handle, real change always starts locally, where individuals can witness firsthand the direct results of their efforts. Communities possess a special kind of power. They generate momentum, energize involvement, and develop a feeling of shared responsibility that can produce deep, long term change. The strength of communities lies in their capacity to bring people together with a common vision. When individuals collaborate, they strengthen their voices, which become more powerful than the voice of any single individual. Whether it is climate change, human rights, or sustainability, local movements can change public opinion and affect policymakers. From rural villages protecting forests to city neighborhoods starting zero waste campaigns, the effect of community driven initiatives cannot be denied. Today, in the wake of environmental degradation, climate change, and expanding social inequalities, it is more important than ever that we identify and tap into the power of communities. Large institutions and government change slowly, but communities can be agile and respond quickly to crisis using innovation and adaptability in the process. They are capable of living out sustainable lifestyles. Teaching others and building networks of support that spread outward, leading to broader societal transformation. This chapter delves into how communities are leading the change, what challenges they are facing, and how one can become an active participant in creating a better tomorrow. Communities as the foundation of change. Communities have always been vital in defining societies. Well, before the development of centralized states, humans had relied on localized networks to subsist, share, and collectively make decisions. Communities are, in some sense, the oldest form of government in which individuals assemble to resolve issues, assist each other, and preserve their ecosystem. Although the contemporary world has been more and more globalized, the requirement for robust, participatory communities continues to be just as crucial today. One of the hallmarks of successful communities is that they can create a sense of belonging. When citizens feel part of their community, they are more likely to make an investment in the health of their environment. This can happen in many different ways, ranging from neighborhood groups volunteering to clean up to communal gardens that deliver fresh produce while building social networks. In urban areas, communities with strong community organizations are safer, healthier, and more resilient during emergencies. In rural communities, traditional knowledge and shared management of resources guarantee that natural ecosystem are preserved for generations to come. Aside from their direct effect, communities are also drivers of larger change. One town's shift to renewable energy can encourage surrounding areas to do the same. A community that pushes for clean water access can make a difference in national policy. When something starts at the local level and takes off, it proves that change is possible, motivating others to implement similar methods. This bottom up strategy has been key in environmental protection, social justice crusades, and public health movements across the globe. As history has proven, when people come together under a common goal, they are capable of transforming societies altogether. Local action, global impact. Perhaps the greatest strength of grassroots change is that it can have a ripple effect. Although it might appear that small, localized actions have little bearing on the international scene, history has shown otherwise. The most influential movements towards social and environmental advancement frequently started with individuals or small groups of people acting with their own communities. These individual actions, when repeated in multiple regions, are part of a greater movement towards a shift in worldwide consciousness and policy. Take the case of plastic waste reduction. When one town prohibits single use plastics, it helps the local system as well as sets an example that can encourage neighboring cities and even countries to follow suit. This was evident in nations such as Rwanda, which began with grassroots cleanup campaigns before adopting some of the world's most stringent plastic bans. Likewise, campaigns for sustainable agriculture, the use of no renewable energy, and fair consumerism tend to originate in local communities before becoming international phenomena. Social media and online communication have further increased the power of grassroots actions. A local community planting over a devastating area can now spread the accomplishment to the world and inspire others to initiate such ventures. Being able to network and learn from each other has revo- revolutionized how communities are making a difference in the world. Any action, regardless of its magnitude, is capable of inspiring millions of peoples. The role of local governments in facilitating sustainability. As critical as community driven change is, local governments can also play an important role in supporting and multiplying such efforts. Municipal or regional policy often sets the stage in many instances on which sustainability measures either thrive or encounter unnecessary hindrances. Visionary city governments, for example, can put into place zoning regulations that incentivize green zones, invest in renewable energy equipment, and reward businesses that follow sustainable practices. Perhaps that the best thing that local government can do to assist communities is to give top priority to public involvement in decision making. When citizens are directly engaged in policy making, the resulting programs tend to better address the real needs and issues of the community. Cities that have cities that have adopted participatory budgeting in which citizens directly participate in deciding how funds are spent tend to experience greater civic engagement and satisfaction. Aside from policy assistance, local governments can also act as facilitators, linking community organization with resources, funding, and technical knowledge. Through collaboration with environmental organizations, schools, and businesses, municipal officials can assist in replicating successful community initiatives and incorporating them into comprehensive sustainability plans. The partnership between governments and communities must be collaborative one, where public institutions offer the support that grassroots movements need to flourish. The power of grassroots movements. Throughout history, some of the most transformative changes have been driven by grassroots movements, community led efforts that challenge the status quo and demand a better future. Unlike top down reforms, which often rely on political will. Grassroots activism emerges from the people, driven by shared values, lived experiences, and a collective desire for change. These movements have shaped everything from civil rights legislation to environmental conservation policies. Perhaps the most significant advantage of grassroots activism is the power it holds to engage people on a very personal level. When people feel directly affected by something, be it pollution contaminating their water or forestry that imperils endangered species nearby, they will be more apt to act. Activist movements such as Fridays for Future, led by young activists demanding climate action, started out as humble demonstrations but soon became an international movement that pushed governments to act on environmental issues. Grassroots movements are also incredibly flexible. Without the bureaucracy of big institutions, grassroots can be quick to adapt to new crises as they arise and trial innovative fixes specific to local circumstances. From a community putting solar panels on schools to a collective of farmers implementing regenerative agriculture, grassroots movements are frequently sites of testing for larger policy initiatives. Once their effectiveness is established, these movements offer powerful proof that change is not only possible but feasible, creating stronger, more resilient communities. Resilience, the capacity to endure and adapt to adversity, is defining characteristics of strong communities. In the face of economic crisis, natural disasters, or social unrest, communities that are cooperative and supportive are much better positioned to weather difficulties. The COVID-19 pandemic highlighted the value of local resilience, with communities mobilizing food delivery, mutual aid networks, and support systems when governments were unable to respond effectively. Development of resilience starts by investing in the capacities of places. This ranges from investing in small enterprises, building sustainable agriculture systems, to establishing social protection systems that don't leave anybody behind. When communities focus on self reliance through initiatives like localized food production and decentralized energy solutions, They are better protected from the impacts of shocks from outside their areas. With strong social links, communities rebound faster from emergencies since individuals become more inclined towards helping each other during difficult moments. In the end, resilience is something more than mere survival. It is to thrive in the face of adversity. The resilient community is one that perceives adversity not as an impossible hurdle but as a chance to innovate and become stronger. Through cooperation, flexibility, and sustainability, communities can create a foundation that guarantees everyone's long term well being. Community led solutions to environmental challenges. Perhaps the most astounding thing about community led change is the capacity it has for developing practical, context specific solutions to environmental problems. Although large scale government policies are needed, they are frequently slow and might not completely cover the unique requirements on various areas. Communities, however, are capable of responding with speed, crafting solutions that are specifically adaptable to their land, culture, and resources. Communities, however, are capable of responding with speed, crafting solutions that are specifically adaptable to their land, culture, and resources. From around the globe, there are countless instances of grassroots led environmental restoration that have restored degraded ecosystems. In Kenya, the Green Belt movement, initiated by Wangari Maathai, mobilized local women to plant millions of trees, restoring biodiversity and preventing desertification. In India, the revival of traditional water harvesting systems has enabled villages to prevent droughts and provide a guaranteed supply of clean water. These efforts did not require massive financial investments from external organizations. Rather, they relied on community knowledge, collective labor, and a commitment to protecting the land. Urban societies have also spearheaded green efforts. Cities with pollution and waste problems have seen community led campaigns supporting recycling initiatives, zero waste stores, and city farms. Roof gardens and people's gardens are cropping up in cities, delivering fresh local produce while lowering the carbon cost of transport. Residents spearheading local cleanup and planting tree campaigns not only purify their surrounding environment but also promote a sense of environmental stewardship. More significantly, perhaps, community based solutions show the strength of agency. When individuals can see the direct outcome of their work, whether cleaner streets, healthier woodlands, or improved access to clean water, they feel enabled to make a difference again and again. These on the ground victories are templates for more comprehensive sustainability initiatives. Illustrating that even the most intimidating environmental issues can be resolved through grassroots movements. The role of social media in amplifying community action. With the interconnectedness of the world today, social media has become an integral tool in the hands of communities working to create a difference whereby the old way of activism was through word of mouth, pamphlets, and meetups. Internet platforms have transformed how people organize, connect, and call for change. One post, one video, or one campaign can now reach a million people, making small scale efforts go viral and become global movements. Social media has provided a platform for marginalized groups that were once ignored by the mainstream media. Indigenous groups resisting the takeover of ancestral lands, youth climate movements, and local groups campaigning for clean energy and have all used online platforms to mobilize attention and support. Social media has provided a platform for marginalized groups that were once ignored by the mainstream in media. Indigenous groups resisting the takeover of ancestral lands, youth climate movements, and local groups campaigning for clean energy have all used online platforms to mobilize attention and support. Hashtags such as Fridays for Future, Save the Amazon, and Plastic Free have placed critical environmental concerns in the public consciousness, mobilizing collective actions. Beyond raising awareness, social media enables rapid mobilization. Crowdfunding platforms allow individuals to financially support community projects, while online petitions pressure governments and corporations to adopt more sustainable policies. Digital activism has successfully pushed companies to eliminate plastic packaging, urged cities to implement bike friendly infrastructure, and even influenced legislation. Yet, although social media is an influential force, it has its challenges. Rapid dissemination of disinformation, collectivism, in which individuals voice support online but do not act in the real world, and corporate greenwashing are among the issues. Real effect comes from transcending online action and challenging digital support into real world action. The most effective campaigns are those that leverage social media not only for exposure but as a platform to mobilize real life action in community based endeavors. The significance of inclusivity in community action. In order for community action to be effective, it has to be inclusive. All too often, environmental and social action neglects the interest of marginalized communities, reinforcing structural injustices instead of alleviating them. Solutions that are sustainable must serve all. Throughout race, gender, socioeconomic class, and ability, so that no community is left behind. Historically, poor communities have suffered most from environmental degradation but are least engaged in policy making. Poor neighborhoods are disproportionately placed near industrial pollution areas. Poor, while indigenous territories are commonly targeted for deforestation and resource exploitation. Climate change most heavily affects women and children in the developing world, but their voices are regularly left out of key environmental debates. To end these injustices, diverse voices must be actively engaged in sustainability initiatives. Building inclusive communities involves developing environments in which every voice is represented and respected. Community meetings, decision making forums, and ecological organizations need to make a specific effort to incorporate participation from previously excluded groups. This can be done by eradicating the language barrier, offering childcare for participants and making space accessible for persons with disabilities. Programs need to be culturally competent as well, understanding that communities have varying ways of relating to nature and that traditional ecological knowledge needs to be respected and used in sustainable strategies. Inclusivity is not only a moral necessity, it makes communities stronger. Solutions are more effective, innovative, and sustainable when diverse voices are involved. A project for sustainability by a homogeneous group might miss the point or not resonate with the people it would like to serve. Real community empowerment occurs when all have a voice at the table, striving for a shared objective. educating and empowering future generations. The long term viability of people powered change hinges on the activism of younger generations. Youth and children are not the leaders of the future, but rather today's leaders influencing the future already. Young activists all over the globe leading climate justice marches, protesting on the streets and calling for more robust environmental regulations. Be it Greta Thunberg's school strikes or grassroots level youth conservation programs, young adults are showing everyone that age has no role when it comes to making a difference. By youth, activism alone should not be the means by which young people are involved in sustainability. Education has a critical role to play in preparing future generations to acquire the information and skills necessary to construct strong communities. Environmental literacy should be incorporated into the education system, and students should be taught climate science, sustainability, and biodiversity. Hands on learning opportunities, including school gardens, recycling initiatives, and conservation efforts enable students to engage with the natural world and learn their responsibilities in preserving it. In addition to formal education, mentorship and leadership initiatives can enable young people to act. Activists, teachers, and community leaders can mentor young change makers and equip them with the necessary tools and support to initiate their own projects. If youth feel empowered, they will become lifelong champions of sustainability, making sure the next generation is not only environmentally aware but also actively involved in addressing environmental issues. A global vision for community led change. Envision a world where each neighborhood, town, and city owns its social and environmental health. A world where citizens collaborate, crossing cultures, borders, and backgrounds to devise solutions that are locally appropriate and globally significant. This is not a European dream, it is already unfolding in thousands of communities, and it can reframe the world. Communities are not merely where people reside, they are systems of support, creativity, and resilience. When people unite around a common cause, they are capable of extraordinary achievements. The future will not be constructed solely by world leaders or multinational companies, but by ordinary people doing something in their own communities. Whether it's healing ecosystems, fighting for sustainable policies, or building businesses that put people and the planet first. The way forward demands commitment, cooperation, and empathy. It demands understanding that our collective actions, when aggravated, have tremendous potential. It demands hearing and learning from each other, making sure the solutions we design are inclusive, effective, and sustainable. Most importantly, it demands faith, the faith that change is possible, the communities can lead it, and that a better future is within our grasp. Communities are always at the center of change, and their leadership in creating a sustainable world is now more important than ever. From local conservation to youth activism, grassroots movements are demonstrating that action at the community level holds the power to bring about global change. Social media has helped spread the word, while participatory decision making makes solutions for everyone in society. Youth empowerment and education are vital in ensuring lasting change, empowering the next generation to keep fighting for a better world. With the adoption of power of unity, people can make a world that is not only sustainable but also equitable, resilient, and hopeful. So, this is all we have from this chapter. I hope you guys get the right information from this book. If you like the video, don't forget to press the like button. And if you wanted to suggest any other book, you can tell me in the comment section. And you can buy this book from our website, Amazon page. I'll be back with another video to continue the next chapter. Till then, just take care and goodbye.